Hello my friends, I'm Duchess and welcome to my YouTube channel. This week I'm going to try coloring my webtoon differently from how I usually do. Let's get started. If you don't know me, I am the small webtoon canvas creator of The Unexpected Enchantress. The link is in the bio. Some of you probably know that I am all about learning the most efficient ways of making my webtoon because why make things more complicated for yourself? Also, I've been kind of sick this week and my voice is really weird and a little bit deeper and I just don't sound like myself, so I apologize for that. When I color my webtoon, I usually have 4 different layers for coloring. One layer is for the background, one is for their skin tones and their clothes, another is for their hair, and another is for their eyes. So I feel like it's easier to color and shade when the coloring is divided up into these 4 layers. I used to have like a bajillion layers for coloring. Every article of clothing literally had its own layer and everything, but I've learned to compress the coloring layers and I've settled with 4 of them, which is amazing considering I used to have like 35 layers at one point. But recently I was thinking about how other webtoon artists color in the videos that I have seen and I wanted to try it out for myself. I watch a lot of webtoon videos and to try to improve my work or to try to make the process easier for myself. So yeah, this is something that I've seen a lot. What I've actually seen a lot of artists do is color everything on one layer with the color gray, or at least that's what it looks like. So after I did the line art, I filled in the backgrounds real quick and then created only one layer for all of the other colors. Then I used the selection tool and traced around all of my drawings on this comic strip. Personally, I don't really like using the selection tool because it's a bit tedious, but it is really helpful when it comes to coloring because it just colors so neatly because you select specific areas and you can just color it in and it's just really nice. It's a really good tool to use. I chose this medium gray to fill everything in. It took quite a while, but overall it might have taken me a little more than an hour, so it wasn't too bad. After I filled everything in, I used the Alpha Lock tool to color the gray. Alpha Lock is this setting that lets you color, mark, or draw on whatever is already on the current layer that you're on. So since everything I needed to color has already been filled in with gray, I can color over the figures with whatever colors I want and it won't go over the line art or outside of the gray areas that I've already filled in. So I think the purpose of blocking in the figures with gray is to basically make coloring easier because you don't have to worry about it getting messy. This part of the coloring actually took me quite a while. Even though I can color without as much worries, I still have to be pretty neat when I color, so it probably took me 3+ hours. I wasn't really keeping track of the time, but it didn't really feel like a long time, but at the same time, it was kind of a long time. I would say, yeah, about 3 hours, a little bit more than 3 hours. After I colored all of the flat colors, I decided to color the eyes on another layer because I was just thinking it would be hard to, or not hard, it would just not look good because for eyebrows, I usually use a slightly darker shade than the hair, but sometimes the hair or like their bangs cover their eyebrows a little bit and I wasn't really sure how I was supposed to color that. And I also like to fade out the eyebrows on the inner side, on the inside. So I thought it would look kind of weird if I tried to do it on top of all of the other colors. So I stopped recording after that. Now that I've actually tried it out, here is what I thought about it. The blocking part was pretty okay. I feel like that part was pretty fast and it did make the coloring convenient afterwards. Coloring the rest of the colors was fine too. I think it was a little faster to color because I didn't have to go to another layer to color the hair and everything was pretty much on one layer. It was very easy. The biggest issue that I had with this new coloring technique was the shading, which I didn't show you, but it was a lot harder than it usually is. I'm a pretty messy artist, so it was annoying. I can definitely be neat, but my style is just more carefree and loose, and that's just the way I like it. So it was a challenge. Overall, I think this method was nice and I'll probably start doing it this way, except I'll continue to use the 4 coloring layers so that the hair has its own separate layer as usual, which kind of defeats the purpose of this gray coloring, but it was just hard to shade the hair and the skin and the clothes neatly because the shading colors just kept overlapping. And I just had to keep erasing and then reshading, erasing and reshading, and it was more time consuming than it usually was, and I did a lot more work than I needed to. So yeah. Let me know down in the comments below how you guys color your webtoons or how you guys color in general, and let me know what your thoughts are about this coloring technique. That is all I have for you guys this week. If you guys enjoyed this week's video or learned something new, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next week.